What's up, guys? This is Adri, and we're here with
Brian,
from
good terms.
Awesome. So, just to get into it, we're going to start with an easy one. What's a fun fact that your fans may not know about you guys?
About all of us, they probably do know this, but we are very, very old friends. We started the band in like 2020, but Zach and Ivan went to middle school together, and I went to the rival high school.
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely, back in Virginia. We were rival high schools in like football teams, and their football team absolutely destroyed mine, no question. Sorry, guys, in the football team. My football team sucked. But they think that their marching band and drum line was like also up to snuff and like better than my drum line, and we're like,
It wasn't.
like not even close.
Well,
Not
at,
even
le- at
close.
least you know where you were and where you weren't.
Oh,
so
yeah.
at least you can call that. But they need to get that together for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. You describe yourself as best friends first and bandmates second. How does that shape your creative process, especially when disagreements pop up?
When disagreements pop up, they pop up so much. I have to say that is like being in a band is hard work. There's a lot of perseverance. There's a lot of just standing the test of time and all of the stuff that life throws at you. Making sure that we stay friends and not just guys that agree to be in a band together is the most amount of work. And because we grew up together, we're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
We're good at being mad at each other and being like, but we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
So creatively, well, that's a big question. We're all writers, and we're all pretty type A. We all have big, complete visions about how things should be. And over the years, always described ourselves as like respectful about each other's visions. And as the years have gone on, we've learned like, actually we aren't. We need to learn how to figure out how to be respectful of each other's visions. And
All right. What's something one of your bandmates that has contributed to a song that completely surprised you in a good way?
ooh, okay. Give me a sec. I did have my coffee, but it's running. It's running through my brain. Sorry, all of the songs are swirling around in my head. I mean, that didn't completely surprise me though. Let me think of one that completely surprised me. Okay, here's one. So our song "Mirror Mirror," it closes our last record, "Burnout." It's a Zach song. Zach wrote the song. We all kind of wrote the music together. But he wrote a bunch of songs on our last record, and that was one of them, and that was one of his biggest, most ambitious ones. And we kind of wrote it up to the bridge, and we were like, okay, and then we're gonna do something with the band. We're gonna do a breakdown, or we're gonna do a jam. Like we don't know. Let's do something crazy. We know it's gonna end the song. And I was like, hey man, like, what if I did a guitar solo? Like you two have guitar solos on the record. I don't have a guitar solo on the record. Like that'd be fun. I would like guitar solo. And he's like, yeah, sure, man. Like, go cook something up and see what you got. And I worked on it, and I was like, dude, the only idea I came up with was like a 2.5-minute guitar solo that like does the whole form of the song again. Like, it's fun to do, but I don't think it's really what's gonna happen. And Zach was like, oh no, that's totally what we should do, dude. Actually, we should go even harder. Like, what you should have a key change. You should like reharmonize everything and like throw in some jazz chords. Like, really go all out. And so like, even though it's my solo that I took, I was very surprised at Zach being like, oh no, dude, 2.5 minutes? Like, perfect. That's what we need, man.
That's amazing. That's a good having like hype men around you too. That will
Oh, for
like
sure.
hype that up and
Sure.
those ideas up for sure. So you guys have blended genres like pop punk, emo, and even progressive rock. Is there a style you'd like to explore that might surprise your fans?
At this point, would our fans be surprised anymore?
Probably not.
Yeah, my answer would have been fusion, but on the Mirror Mirror guitar solo,
Yeah.
that's where we did a little bit of jazz fusion stuff. What I really want to do now, I mean, funk stuff in general, I think I've already done it, but I'd love to go even harder. I feel like our bassist and drummer are still so underutilized. Brendan and Gio are just they're just using 10% of their brain in this band.
Yeah.
And I think we could use them even more.
That's really cool. So the title Burnout feels super relevant. Was this more about creative burnout, emotional exhaustion, or something else entirely?
Well, it was from the lyrics. That's where we had a big list of all of the lyrics from the record that we thought could be album titles. And Burnout was just the one that, kind of the way we named the band too, it was just the one that didn't have anything wrong with it. It's kind of one of the least exciting ones, but then the more we thought about it, the more we were like, okay, that applies to this, that applies to that applies to, we burned ourselves out making the record because it's all self-produced, it's all self-mixed. That was a whole burnout right there. Obviously, burnout with life, the way that everyone is
Yeah.
getting burned out on the gig economy and all the stuff we do. All my stupid songs about weed and literally being a burnout. All of Zach's songs about his hothead tendencies that he inherited from his family and the like dysfunction that's caused that they've all had to work their way through. Like that was its own burnout. And then Ivan said like even like in a car just like showing off and doing a burnout in a parking lot to impress your friends. Like there's some of that on the record too, just doing the extra proggy stuff, the guitar solo stuff. Like there were just all of these layers to it which I think is the most like that's the best art can be is like it's not necessarily that I'm trying to say one thing in particular. I'm just trying to if I can do something where everyone can see it from all these different angles and it works for them on all these levels, I think that's the strongest a piece of art can be.
Yeah.
While still conveying something intentional, but
Well, and that sounds like the absolute perfect name whenever it has all those different layers too. The Misunderstood track.
Yeah, Cough. I think Cough is the Misunderstood track, which it's one of our most popular tracks, which is cool. But I think maybe this came down to my writing, though I do stand by the lyrics. But it seems like it's a song about just being embarrassed about smoking weed, which is kind of like the lens that I'm viewing the whole thing through. But it's just a song about growing up. It's a song about wanting to, realizing how ill-equipped I am for a life as a whole, and certain things that I just need to get rid of. That like, I mean, the hiding stuff from my mom line. Like, I've been made fun of that in Facebook comments so much, but it's like, dude, I'm not being a whiny little baby here. I have a good relationship with my mother, and there's this stupid thing that sometimes has gotten in the way, and like I would like it to not be in the way anymore.
Exactly.
And in the perspective of the song, like when I wrote the song, I wasn't even smoking. I was on a break, and that break was just when I realized, like, oh, dude, I use this as a crutch, and there are all these things in my life. As I'm growing up, my mom's giving away my childhood toys, and just you think that your mom is like, hey, can I give away your Legos? And you're like, well, of course.
Yeah.
And then like you come home and you're like for Christmas and your Legos aren't there, and you're like,
You're like, well, crap.
oh, actually, this sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know why. What was I gonna do with the Legos?
Yeah, but
just
now
like,
it sucks.
yeah, but just like, oh, this growing up is scary and not always sick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's Cough.
All right. Let's see. If each of you had a Tinder bio based on your musical style, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Oh man. Zach's would be something really put together. Zach is very put together. He tries to make everything the best it can be. So I don't know exactly what it would be because I am not like that. But it would be like very tight and well done. And his musical style is very. It kind of has a wide berth. But he likes things to be just so. He likes things to be very heavy, or he likes things to be very poppy. I'm struggling to sum it up in a Tinder bio. I didn't spend much time on Tinder. It just didn't work out.
Oh yeah, it never does.
Yeah, which is fine. Looking back, I'm like, that's probably for the best. Ivan's would be, honestly, Ivan's would be empty. Ivan would not write a Tinder bio at all.
Amazing.
I wonder if he had Tinder. But he would just have all these pictures of him like doing strong big guy things that would kind of speak for themselves. And he's a very sensitive artist guy. He likes a lot of sensitive artists, acoustic. Understanding of this problem. All of Ivan's pictures would be, I don't know, him like working with like heavy machinery and like him, not on a boat because he's not a huge fan of water.
He wouldn't be the one holding the fish.
He might be the one holding the fish.
He might be the one.
Maybe though. He might be too embarrassed to that.
Honestly, who would be the one holding the fish out of everybody?
Zach. Zach for sure. I mean, he's not like that's not really his vibe, but like if that was his vibe, he'd be the one holding the fish. I don't know about me. Hard to say. What was my Tinder bio? I don't even remember. It was a long time ago. And I feel like my musical style is like messy. Like Ivan always says it's so hard to pin down what I'm gonna like and not like. He tries to show me stuff, and he has no idea what he's like. I think you like this, but I really have no idea, because like, you know, I'm here for the complicated stuff. I like the proggy stuff. But sometimes he'll show me things that, I don't know, they're too produced or they're too boring or something. And then he'll show me, you know, but then he'll show, like, I like AC/DC, but then he'll show me like party fun stuff, and I'd be like, nah, this is like too far in that direction. So, my Tinder bio would be a mess. That's what it would be. It would be not thought about at all, or like half thought about, and it would not be successful, just like it wasn't successful.
I don't think it's successful for any of us, honestly.
And again, that's probably good. It's a good thing. Bad place.
Right. Okay, so say you have to swap instruments for a full set. Who's playing what and who's totally doomed?
Ivan's playing drums, probably because Ivan really can play drums. He would say he would be the one to be totally doomed, but he wouldn't be. Zach would play. Okay, there's only so many instruments. Here's the thing. I mean, there's guitar. There's different guitars. There's bass and there's drums and there's singing. So at a certain point, we're just kind of swapping guitars here. Zach would play bass. Zach could. That's what he would elect to do, and he could hold it down. He would do a serviceable job. He would say this exact thing. He would have fun. He'd do a serviceable job, and he wouldn't compare to a real bass player. Gio, who isn't even here with us tonight, but our bassist Gio, he would begrudgingly take lead vocals, and he would scream all of it and it'd be fucking sick. I don't know what I would do. I would play someone else's guitar part. I could play drums, play bass. We're all pretty multi-instrumental. I think if I took bass, like good? Really?
Yeah, good.
Good, cool. If I took bass like I wanted to, then Zach would be screwed because Zach can't play drums. And he can't sing lead. Especially Jerry, he can barely sing back.
Oh yeah, he would definitely not be able to sing lead.
No, it's a struggle.
All right, so finally, next for good terms, and what can fans be excited about?
This is a crazy year. It's been a crazy year so far, and it's going to be a crazy year in the future. I don't know. Every time I hear about our future plans, I'm like, okay, holy crap. Every time they're exciting though. So we get more touring. We're finishing on our full year with full U.S. run, a full year of touring. Could you imagine that?
Right.
Our full
crazy.
U.S. tour with Evvntly. We're doing 2 legs with Emory. We're doing a leg in Midwest in July, and we're doing a leg in like Central South, kind of up to the Midwest in September. We're putting out more songs. We just put out a single called Progress, and we have more singles on the way. And then. Yeah, awesome. My folder of songs is very big, so there's a lot to chunk through. The guys are working on songs as well, so we're just working on songs. We'll put them out. How we'll put them out, I don't know, but there will be a lot of songs.
Well, that sounds like a very awesome year for you guys.
I'm very excited to keep doing what we're doing, man.
Awesome. Well,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for meeting with us today.
Yeah. Thank you for talking.